Well, Amie Watson writes about food for the Montreal Gazette, among other places. Her latest in the Gazette asks the following question: are traditional Italian desserts on their way out in Montreal? Let's get an answer to that question. Amie joins me on the line. Good morning, Amie.
Good morning.
So I read your piece in the Gazette, and you start off at a traditional Italian bakery, Patisserie San Marco. Why don't you tell me what you found there and how that led you off on your latest story?
So they have these three very traditional Italian cakes. There's one that's actually just called the Italian cake, which is three layers of sponge cake filled with a chocolate and vanilla zabaione custard, traditional Italian custard between the layers, and then a chocolate and vanilla whipped cream on top. And what's special about it is that the sponge cake is soaked in this liqueur, Italian liqueur called El Kermes, which was traditionally made red by a beetle. It was colored with a beetle. Now it's done with food coloring.
Wow.
So I kind of took that as a starting point for different Italian desserts that you don't see everywhere. Like you've maybe never heard of El Kermes or the La Regina or the zuppa inglese cake. Maybe you have heard of the zuppa inglese.
No, I haven't heard of any of those. So I mean, I guess it gets to, the cannoli's not an endangered species. Those are living, but it seems like the specialized Italian desserts, they're becoming harder and harder to find.
And it's becoming harder to find just traditional cannoli, too, because now you're seeing pistachio and Oreo and tiramisu and mascarpone, like all these different flavors that are kind of appealing to a broader audience. So there's kind of the two issues with disappearing Italian desserts and then new flavors.
So who did the bakers blame? When you go speak to these bakery owners, what do they say the cause is? Is it those changing tastes?
So, yes, I don't know if they'd blame customers. I mean, they're happy to have customers asking for new flavors and asking for traditional things when they do want them. But they mostly do these traditional desserts on request. And yes, they say that there's more demand for these other flavors, and that's what's causing them to create them.
So everyone wants an Oreo something, right?
Yeah,
so,
apparently. Oreo cheesecake, Oreo mousse cake, Oreo tiramisu, Oreo everything.
Is this a generational thing, basically? Does it come down to, people from the old world are still into their classic desserts, and it's, the people that have grown up in Canada that are so in tune with stuff that's like, I don't know, Oreo and Nutella instead?
Yeah, and that's what I heard from them, actually. So I was talking with Stefano Guerra from San Marco and from Tanya Lancia from Sisterly Sweets, and that's exactly what they said, that they do get requests generally from an older generation, or people walk into the shop from an older generation and they want the more traditional desserts. But a younger generation, either they don't know them or they're things that their nonna makes at home, but they're not something that they go into the store and generally ask for.
So are they trying anything unique, interesting to keep these desserts alive?
Yes. What I think is kind of fun and also weird is that they'll take cakes, like a chocolate cake, a vanilla cake, or some kind of mousse cake or an Oreo cake, and then they'll top it with like a sfogliatelle, which is like a flaky cream stuffed puff pastry ridged like seashells, and they'll put it on top. So it's kind of like if you're going to put a baklava on top of a carrot cake, or like, juxtapositions that you wouldn't think usually go together, but they'll take this Italian like traditional element and put it on a non-Italian or slightly less traditional Italian dessert, and it becomes very eye-popping. You get a lot more textures, you get a lot more flavors, and then people ooh and ah over it, and they get excited.
So it's like, it's a modern fusion take on these traditional desserts.
Exactly. And you're still going to see things like coda d'aragosta, which are like millefeuille lobster tails with a semolina cream. And you're going to see sospiri, these little sweetened pastries named after Italian nuns that are glazed in like a powdered sugar. You're going to see them at a couple places, like Patisserie Laura has these S-shaped Calabrian amaretti, and Alati still has a lot of very traditional things. Like you're going to see the sfogliatelle, you're going to see the coda d'aragosta on their shelves. But then you're also going to see less traditional things like Oreo cakes and things in the freezer that are beautiful, but slightly less traditional.
Where do I need to head? I mean, obviously, I would think if I go to Little Italy, I will find these places. But if I'm listening to this and I'm like, okay, I want to get these things. I want to get back to either my roots or I want to try something that I never tried before. Where are the go-to places? What parts of town?
Well, Little Italy is a big one. Like
Hmm.
Alati, for example, I walked in there the other day, and it feels very old school. Saint Leonard has a lot that, and then even what's the other one? Where like a little bit to the north, like Hunsik has a couple
Yes.
places, like
Yeah.
Patisserie Saint Martin, even in Laval, Del Sole Bakery, and towards De Carry, Del Sole,
Yeah.
Dolce Piu as well.
So
Um,
the Italian communities, they are hanging in there. If you've got Italians, you will find those Italian bakeries.
yeah,
Are
and
they?
sorry, go
No,
ahead.
no, no. Go ahead. Finish your thought there.
I was just going to say there are certain desserts that you only see at certain times of year as well. So if you're going in right now and you're looking for a Christmas dessert, like carta latte, for example, it's this deep fried pastry in a wine syrup or in honey or a mix of both, depending on what region of Italy you come from, because there are all these regional variations. You might only find that at Christmas time unless you specially request it. But like the Italian cake, the La Regina, and the Oreo cakes, of course, you can find year round. But if you're looking just for the traditional things, like zeppole, only in the spring. Although it used to be 1 month, now sometimes it's 2 months, now sometimes it's 3 months, and it's stretching out because there is a demand for it.
It does, and so I guess it does come down to demand, right? At the
Yeah,
end of the
exactly.
day, if people are asking for it, they'll get it, and I
Yeah.
guess the zeppole is a good example of that.
Yeah.
Italian Week is coming up, correct?
Yes, exactly.
And is part of Italian Week going to be trying to get these traditional desserts at the forefront again?
Well, one element of it. So something I didn't get to write in my article, which I really wanted to include, but the update came too late, was that there's a change in the dessert for the competition. There's a competition, dessert competition on the 18th, I believe,
Okay.
at 2 p.m. in Little Italy. And it's the traditional Italian Week dessert contest. And every year the panel chooses one traditional Italian dessert for all these pastry chefs, which are generally from bakeries in the city, to make. And everybody gets to taste them, and the judges get to taste them. And it was supposed to be the peschi dolce, like a sweet peach, but it's not actually a peach. It's 2 cookies that are sandwiched around a pastry cream, dipped in the alkermes, that red-colored liqueur that used to be made with beetles, now made with food coloring, and then enrobed in coarse sugar to make it look like a peach. So the color is more rose tinted. And so it was supposed to be that dessert, but then it changed to the bombolone, which is the Italian donut.
Oh, okay.
Not a regular donut. But I'm not sure exactly why it changed to the bombolone. The people from the festival didn't respond to me about that, so I couldn't publish that. I'm not sure if
It's because it has a better name. People want to eat a bombolone, right?
And I know what it is, too. But maybe it's harder to find the alkermes. Maybe there's less demand. But with the bombolone, you could stuff it with anything except Nutella or chocolate. So people don't have to do like just a custard or just a ricotta filling, which would be the traditional fillings for a bombolone.
All right, let me just ask you this as we end off here. When you went to these pastry shops, when you spoke to these bakers, when you spoke to these owners, was there like sense of optimism, or was there a sense of like sadness that these traditional pastries might be going away?
A little bit of both, but I think there's less sadness because they don't think it's going away. It's just less popular, and it's exciting for them to try these new flavors and to see more people coming in because of the new flavors, and then maybe discovering the traditional flavors. So, for example, Tanya Lancia from Sisterly Sweets, she was a little bit sad. She was, disappointed that people maybe don't know the Casada Siciliana so much, but at the same time, like she does like a cannoli mizu, and people enjoy that. So it's a mixture. It's a cannoli with a tiramisu filling type of pastry, and so it's not that it's she's not making beautiful things and not making tasty things, or she'd only want to be doing the traditional ones. She's just sad that there isn't as much appreciation for the tradition.
Food writer Amie Watson, enjoy Italian Week, Montreal's Italian Week. I'm sure you can get some good food that week.
Thank you.